Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into one of the most towering figures in all of literature, Anna Karenina. Now, is her story just a simple cautionary tale about passion gone wrong, or is it something way, way more complex? Let's get into it. And right from the get-go, you realize this is so much more than a love story. Tolstoy actually gives us a mystery. He doesn't give us Anna's whole backstory, which forces us to ask the big question right away. Who is this woman really?
So here's our game plan. We're going to follow the novel's amazing structure. We'll start with the enigma of Anna and her world of passion. Then we'll switch gears to look at a parallel story, a world of purpose. And that's going to lead us straight to the central question Tolstoy is asking and show us why this book still hits so hard today.
Okay, so who is this woman at the heart of it all? To really get this novel, we first have to try and understand the enigma that is Anna. On the surface, Anna seems to have everything. She is a famous beauty in St. Petersburg society. She's married to this powerful government official. But Tolstoy immediately lets us see the cracks in that perfect facade. You can feel this deep unrest bubbling just under the surface, this powerful sense of being trapped. And then, everything changes. Her whole carefully built life just shatters the moment she meets this dashing military officer, Count Vronsky. He pulls her into a world that is defined by one thing: passion. Their connection is just instantaneous. It's electric. And this single moment at a train station, which is captured perfectly in this quote, it basically seals her fate. One look from Vronsky ignites this cocktail of pleasure and fear, and it sets in motion a love affair that will force Anna to choose between her duty to society and her own personal desire.
And in chasing this love with Vronsky, Anna doesn't just bend the rules of 19th century society. She completely shatters them. She confronts her husband. She walks away from her status. And this is the heartbreaking part. She makes the choice to risk losing her own son. All of it for a love she thinks is going to be her salvation.
And in the beginning, she's not ashamed at all. She is defiant. She doesn't see her love for Vronsky as some kind of sin, but as a source of strength, something that lifts her above all the petty judgments of society. For a while, that passion is her entire world. But, and this is a huge but, living outside of society's rules really starts to take a toll. The very love that was supposed to set her free becomes its own kind of prison. She's cut off from her friends, from her son, from her whole former life. Anna just becomes more and more isolated and jealous, until her grand affair feels like a cage. Okay, so now let's shift to Tolstoy's brilliant move here, the story of Konstantin Levin. This is not just some random subplot, it's literally the other half of the novel's soul. A lot of people see Levin as Tolstoy's alter ego. And unlike Anna, he is so uncomfortable in this superficial world of high society. He's this guy who's wrestling with these huge, deep doubts, and he's not searching for some big, all-consuming passion. He's looking for a genuine, meaningful way to live his life. His path is the complete opposite of Anna's rebellion, right? Instead of breaking away from society, he tries to build a life through connection. Connection to the land he works, to the traditions of his family, and eventually to a faith that can somehow make sense of it all. This fascination with the natural world, it just defines him. While all of Anna's drama is playing out in these fancy ballrooms and theaters, Levin's biggest moments of insight come in these quiet moments of observation, when he's just connecting with the land and the simple rhythms of life on his farm. So you see what we have here. We've got these two parallel lives, Anna's fiery rebellion and Levin's quiet search. Tolstoy is weaving them together so masterfully, and it's not by accident. He's doing it to force us, the reader, to think about a much bigger question. This comparison really lays out the novel's core conflict, doesn't it? Anna is all about chasing intense personal happiness, and she's willing to break every rule to get it. Levin, on the other hand, is looking for a bigger sense of meaning by working within the structures he knows. Her story is one of rebellion, his is one of building. So Tolstoy puts these two lives right next to each other to make us compare them. And even though their paths are so radically different, both Anna and Levin are desperately trying to answer the exact same fundamental question. And that question is, what does it mean to live a good life? That's it. That is the heart of this entire massive novel. Through all the drama, all the romance, all the philosophy, Tolstoy is just relentlessly digging into this one single question. Is a good life found by chasing personal happiness, or is it found in meaning through duty and connection? And that question, that's exactly why, more than 140 years later, this story is still a timeless, absolutely essential masterpiece. See, the book lasts because it's not really about a scandalous affair in 19th century Russia. It is a deep, profound look at the human condition itself. These struggles between what we want for ourselves and what we owe other people, the different kinds of love, the search for something real in a fake world, the crisis of faith, they're just as real for us today as they were back then. And through Levin's journey, Tolstoy kind of hints at an answer. At the end of his whole spiritual struggle, Levin realizes that the truth isn't some big, complicated philosophical theory. It's actually in the simple, shared truths he learns from the peasants on his land, the importance of faith, of family, and of doing good for others. In the end, Anna Karenina doesn't give us an easy answer. It doesn't wrap everything up in a neat little bow. Instead, it leaves us with this huge, provocative question. It shows us a life destroyed by the hunt for an all-consuming passion, right next to a life that's built, slowly and painfully, through duty and faith. And it just asks us to think about where true fulfillment really lies.